Have you ever met someone who just seems to have a sixth sense? They always know what's coming next, whether it's good or bad, way before anyone else catches on. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the incredible psychology behind that very skill. Seriously, think about it for a second. Maybe it's that friend who told you a business idea sounded a little shaky, and yep, it failed. Or that coworker who noticed one tiny, insignificant detail that, if left alone, would have torpedoed the entire project months later. It feels like they have a crystal ball, right? But what if I told you it's not magic? What if it's a skill, a cognitive muscle they've trained to be incredibly strong?
And this really gets to the heart of it. See, most of us were firefighters. We react to chaos. The alarm bell rings, and we spring into action to deal with the problem. But these people, they smell the smoke long before there's even a flicker of a flame. They're playing a completely different game on a completely different timeline.
So what is this so-called superpower? Well, it all comes down to one core concept: pattern recognition. It's something all of our brains do, but some people, they've just taken it to a whole other level.
Here's the secret sauce. It has nothing to do with being psychic. It's about being hyper-attuned to the world around you. It's your brain's amazing ability to take all these little, seemingly unrelated bits of information, a weird number in a report, a strange tone of voice, and stitch them together into a clear picture of what's probably coming next. And you know what the best part is? It's a skill. That means you can get better at it.
Okay, so how do you actually spot this skill in action, either in other people or, hey, maybe even in yourself? Well, it usually shows up as 6 silent signals. Let's walk through them.
First up, it's like having this finely tuned radar for things that just don't quite add up. When someone's words say yes, but their body language is screaming no. Or when you look at a spreadsheet, and even though the math checks out, something about the story the numbers are telling just feels off. It's more than a gut feeling. It's your subconscious crunching the data. And this is the key right here. This isn't about catching a mistake after it's already caused a problem. It's about looking at a plan and sensing a potential weak spot before you even start, saving everyone a massive headache down the road.
The second signal is all about picking up on the tiny, almost invisible changes happening all around us. We're talking about a slight hesitation in a speaker's voice, a small dip in weekly engagement numbers, or even the way a friend's texts suddenly get shorter. To most people, this is just background noise. To a pattern recognizer, it's a signal.
Exactly. That tiny shift in someone's tone could be the very first clue that a deal is about to fall through or that a team member is feeling overwhelmed. While everyone else is waiting for the big dramatic announcement, the person who noticed that shift has already logged it as a critical piece of the puzzle.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. Signal 3 is about connecting the dots over time. See, one weird thing happening is just an anomaly. 2 is a coincidence. But 3? 3 is a pattern. It's the ability to remember that subtle shift from a few weeks ago and connect it to that inconsistency you saw yesterday to see what's really going on.
And that's the whole point. They see the story as it unfolds. They know that when a project hits the same roadblock for the 3rd time in a row, it's not just bad luck. It's a fundamental flaw in the process that needs to be addressed.
Okay, so once you can see a pattern emerging, what's the next logical step? Well, you can start to predict where it's headed. If you see the same dominoes starting to fall in the same order, you can make a pretty solid guess about what's going to happen at the end of the line. This isn't being negative, it's just smart, pragmatic forecasting.
And there it is. This is the big payoff. All that quiet, careful observation of inconsistencies and shifts and patterns, it all leads to this: the ability to step in and solve a problem before it becomes a 5-alarm fire.
Seeing what's coming is one thing, but actually doing something about it, that's what separates the true strategists from the sideline commentators. They don't just see the storm on the horizon. They quietly start steering the ship in a different direction. They start buffering their savings, or they begin learning a new skill, or they gently pivot the team's focus, all based on those subtle, early signs.
And that's the real game changer. While most people are waiting around for 100% undeniable proof that something is wrong, these folks have already made their move. They're comfortable acting on probability, not waiting for the certainty that often comes too late. And that brings us to our final signal, which is really the grand finale where all the others come together. It's the ability to hear what isn't being said out loud. By reading all the patterns in behavior, in data, in communication, they can understand the subtext. They know the real concerns, the hidden agendas, the truths that are hiding between the lines.
This quote just nails it. They don't need the loud, messy, chaotic breakdown to know what's going on because they were already listening to the quiet broadcast. They're responding to the signal, not all the noise that comes later.
So let's just quickly recap. It all starts with the small stuff, detecting those little inconsistencies and noticing subtle shifts. Then you connect those dots to identify repeated patterns. That, in turn, allows you to predict future problems, which gives you the chance to adjust your behavior early. And when you put it all together, you can understand the unspoken. It's a powerful flow from observation to action.
Okay, but why does this really matter? What's the big picture benefit of getting better at this?
This, right here, says everything. It's about making a fundamental shift from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. Instead of spending your life lurching from one crisis to the next, constantly putting out fires, you get to operate with foresight. You solve problems when they're small, simple, and cheap to fix, not when they've grown into huge, stressful monsters. It gives you an incredible sense of control and peace of mind. So, as we wrap up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Really think about it. In your job, in your relationships, maybe even in your own habits. What are the subtle shifts you've noticed but maybe brushed off? What are the little inconsistencies that you've been telling yourself don't matter? Take a quiet moment and try to connect the dots. The pattern you uncover might just tell you everything you need to know about what's coming next.